You are vastly running out of time to get your seed sown. So now is the perfect time to do it so that we don't miss out. The rule of thumb is plant your seed 6 to 8 weeks before you want to plant them out. And in the UK, the last frost date is usually cleared by the second week in May. So we are the start of April. We've got about 6 weeks just over. So I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be sowing today, making sure that I've got the best harvest this year. Also, make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to be trying something I've never tried before. It's called a seed snail. This is a snail that actually helps your seeds to grow instead of eating them all. So stick around to the end for that. But before I show you exactly what you need to get started and what I'm going to be sowing, let me take you inside the polytunnel and show you how my seeds are sowed last month are getting on. Okay, it's a lovely day outside today, so you got to make the most of it. There's nothing yet, not much growing inside my greenhouse right now. I'll take you inside the polytunnel. It is a bit of a windy day today, but here we are. Right at the back of my polytunnel's really nice and warm, gets plenty of sunshine. And here we go. So I only sowed these about 2 to 3 weeks ago. These are my sunflowers. They already need potting on and staking. They have gone huge. I sowed 10 seeds. I managed to get 5 to germinate. These are my pumpkins, which actually saved the seeds from the pumpkins I grew last year. Again, these have taken 2 weeks. Look at the size of them. I think I got 100% hit rate with these. I grew 10 or planted 10 seeds. I've now got 10. As you can see, they are becoming a little entwined with the sunflowers. But the best thing about these little plug trays is I can separate them out really easily and plant them on. So they're going to be going into their own pots and then they'll be able to grow on nicely. These have now got the true leaves, as you can see. They are the seedling leaf, and then that there is the true leaf. You can tell they are completely different. Starts with this one, goes to that one. Now pumpkins, probably a bit, I'd probably have sown these too early, but it won't do any harm. I'll give them a go. I'll plant some more pumpkin seeds probably in another week or so. Coming this way, these are my cherry tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 6, I got 5. So they're not doing too bad. They're just starting to show their new true leaf. That focuses in nice, so they're okay. Got a couple of onions. And then just coming over to this seed tray, I've got the cayenne chilies. We've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we've got the 100% hit rate. So 10 seeds, got 10. These are something new. These are called a lunchbox pepper. And again, I've got 9 or 8 out of 10. They're just coming up nicely. And then in here, I've got the sweet banana pepper. Never tried them before. I think they're a bit of a novelty. I only got 2 of those to germinate, but that's fine. And then the California pepper. These are the ones we all really love to grow. You get an abundance of fruit or peppers. And I've managed to get 8, I think, 8 out of the 10. So again, a good hit rate, but they're still just little seedlings. So going to leave them in here a bit longer, or leave them in their little plugs a bit longer before I transplant them. But they're doing good. And then I couldn't help myself in the garden centre the other day. I saw a watermelon mini love and had to buy that. It was only a couple of quid, but it'd be nice to grow my own watermelon. Okay, let's get back into the shed. As you can see, a nice sunny spot behind this glass, which will just be nice and warm in the sunshine to help these seedlings to grow. But first off, let me just show you what you need. So you need, I always like to plant directly into these seedling trays. I use these every year, and it just means that when they germinate, you can pop them out very easily. There's no roots entwined with other plants. For these new ones, these are like mini greenhouses. Again, the plug trays sit inside a bigger tray that when you water them, it then acts as a bit of a reservoir to keep your plants nice and wet and moist. And then you just pop on the lid, which then acts as a nice little greenhouse. And the same thing can be done for these ones, which are just pop on top again. Acts as a lovely little greenhouse, keeps them protected, keeps them nice and humid and moist, and then germinates easier and then protects them because they are quite sealed. and stops any slugs getting in, especially leaving them in an allotment shed. Right, what else do we need? Right, one of the most important things, do not forget your plant labels and a pen to mark them with, because once you sow them, you will forget. So do not start this without your plant labels handy. I can reuse some of these as they're already marked up from last year. You need your seed and cutting compost. I always buy this specially, which really does the job. This is very gritty, helps to drain very well. It's lack of nutrients, which means the root system will really put on strong roots to go searching for any nutrients, which actually won't find until we pot on. So I always use the seed and cutting compost. If I show you, it's very, hopefully you can see that, very gritty, and it's ideal for seeds to germinate in. Okay, what seeds am I going to be growing? Let's jump into that now. Right, some of these are new, some of them are old. Well, I say old, these are seeds I've been using each year because I haven't used them all up. They do very, very well, but some are brand new that I've bought. So for this one, I've gone for, first one is the cucumber burpless tasty green. Don't know why it says burpless. Do cucumbers make you burp? Maybe they do, and these ones apparently don't. So nice cucumbers there. A great plant to grow every single year is your courgettes. Dead easy. Each plant gives you 2 dozen courgettes. Once they start coming though, they come really quick, thick and fast. I've got 2 sets of melons. These are the Alvaro melons that I saved from my own fruit last year. And then I've got the melon ananas, which grew really, really well. So I'm going to do some of those again. I'm going to do a load of beetroot. They're the last seeds in here. There still should be plenty in there, but beetroot grow really quickly. They'll be going in the raised bed probably in the second week of May outside. Then I've got the cherry sweet million tomato. I used to do every type of tomato you could think of, from beef tomatoes to Marmonde to Garden Delight, Moneymaker. But the cherry is my favorite tomato. So I'm only doing cherry tomatoes this year. The ones in the polytunnel before, they were the ones I sowed last month and I've already germinated. These are slightly different. These are tomato sweet million. So I'm hoping they are as sweet as the name says. So cherry tomato sweet million. Do we get a million? Are they sweet? Let's hope so. And then finally, my most fun crop to grow. I did these last year for the first time. I got so many of these. These are the cucamelon. Look how cute they are. Each plant grows like a vine. They go crazy. They take off. They hang to everything you can imagine. And then all along every single vine, it puts on all these. And you literally do get all of those every single time. Every single plant for me last year got so many. So I'm going to keep these separate. They're going to grow in the polytunnel and we're going to get a glut of cucamelons. They're really, really tasty. They're dead healthy. Eat these instead of your chocolate and sweets. Much better little snack in the daytime. So let's get sowing these. I'll do the first few just to show you exactly what I'm doing. And then we'll get into that seed snail. Okay, all you need to do is take some handfuls of this seed and cutting compost and we're just going to fill up every single one of these little seed compartment trays, these plug trays. That wind's getting up a little bit. Just going to do this nice and quickly. The reason you do it in an allotment shed or any kind of shed is because you don't want to be making all this mess on your kitchen table. So I'll just fill these up now and then show you the next stage. Okay, so this is the first one's done. Pop them back into the reservoir tray, is what I call it. And nicely, and then decide what I want to grow. So I'm going to put in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's do 10 sweet million cherry tomatoes. Okay, give them a little bit of a flick to make sure all the seeds stay at the bottom. Let's have a little look what these are like. Open them up. I'm sure you can see them in the light, but cherry tomatoes or tomato seeds are rather small. But now we're just going to plant in 10 of these. I just do one per plug tray, so it's going to be one in the center of each. Like I said before, if you do only do one per plug tray and you get it to germinate, then you don't have to separate them out at a later date. Just makes jobs easier. But I suppose if you want to increase your germination rate, what you want to do is do maybe 2 per plug tray, and then they're not too hard to separate. So that's them done. There we go. And the good thing about these little bags, they're almost like foil bags, packets. You can just roll it over and then pop them back in so you know exactly what they are. Fold them over. That's our tomato sweet million. So we're going to go for Tom Sweet Million. Okay, that's going to mark them. As I say, that's the one thing you don't want to forget to do. And then you can I often just take the base of my Sharpie pen and move this over, and then just push each seed just underneath the soil. Hopefully you can see that down there. Just got to be a bit careful that it doesn't stick to the end of your pen. That's the only thing. We'll come along, just poke each one in. I normally push mine about a centimetre under the soil. It's a good one. Hopefully you can see that there. Making a little hole just underneath the soil so that the seed itself gets good contact. And then I just backfill with my finger around. You don't want to firm them in too much, just enough for the seed to then get the contact. And then when you water this in, the seed will get nice and damp, and that will activate it. So it's as simple as now just going along, and that's taken all of what, a minute or so, and that is the tomato sweet million sown. So I'm going to get cracking now and probably I think I'll do the cucamelons next. So the cucamelons, a little bit bigger. We've got more than 10 of them, but I'm going to do 10 this year, see how these ones grow. So just the same again, exactly the same, one per plug tray. Feel free to time me on this just to see how long it does take. You feel like sowing seeds takes a long time, really, if you do it and you stagger it and you do just a few seeds at a time, or a few varieties of seeds at a time, it really isn't that daunting. Obviously it depends how many you want to grow, but for me this is going to be absolutely plenty. 10 of each variety, more than enough. Again though, don't want to forget to mark them. Cucamelons are in, and then each one simply, oh, bit of a tough bit of soil in there. Anyway, it'll be fine. Hook them all under. Nothing stuck on, and then we're just going to backfill around. As I say, about a centimetre under the surface. Pretty much that's my rule of thumb with every seed. I do more or less exactly the same growing technique with every single one. And then now that that's complete, let's pop on our little greenhouse roof. And that one is now complete. So I'll get cracking on the rest of them, and then we'll have a go at the seed snail. Right, they're the normal traditional way of sowing seeds done. Well, at least there's 2 trays done. I'll do the rest of them once I finish this. But now just going to have a go at making this seed snail. And if you don't know what one is, let's have a go at making it, and then you'll find out. So apparently you can use an old compost bag, because what we need is a strip of plastic. So got some scissors, got some string to hold it together, and there's actually some bubble wrap too. So I'm going to cut this into one strip to begin with. Sorry for cutting myself off the camera. Hopefully this will work. Apparently it's about 6 inches is the ideal length, or the width, should I say, that way. I mean, move that for now. This will open up nicely, but we don't want that much. So I'm just gonna snip along here. That should now open up into one big strip, which it does. That's too long. It should be about a foot or 2 feet long. Let's go about here. What's that, a foot and a half maybe? Rid of that. Now we need some more seed and cutting compost. And apparently all you do is layer this strip of plastic up about 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick. If this compost is slightly wet, it does the job, but which mine actually is. So I'm going to firm it in. Here we go. So that's staying quite compact. And my tester for this is going to be, so I'm actually going to do more tomatoes as my little tester. Get them out again. And I'm going to just do 5, I think. You can do a lot more if you want. Now, you can roll this up first, or you can plant and then roll. So, see how many come out. Right, I've got 6 seeds in my hand. That will do. And I'm going to pop each one just off the top. So about 1 inch away from the top. These are all separated out nicely. I forgot, you meant to leave a little bit of a gap at the end. Pop that back in. Because you need something to kind of seal around it. Right, each of those seeds are in. Not sure if you can see them. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to firm them in because I don't want them to move. I know they're in and they're sticking to my finger, which isn't good. But make sure they stay in there. Maybe sowing them or putting the seeds in after I've rolled this is better, but I'm going to try. I've never done this before, so we will soon find out. All the seeds appear in. As you can see, it's just like a mat. The good thing about making a seed snail is it takes up much less space than they do. And all of these, well, you'll see in a sec when I roll it up. So it's going to be almost like a Swiss roll, and you literally we're just going to roll this, keeping it nice and compact. Not squeezing it down too much because I don't want all this soil to then squeeze and push out. Just going to roll it all up. Okay. Right, I'm hoping you can see that. Those seeds are in there. I need to make sure I keep it the right way up. And then I'm going to use my bubble wrap, which is going to help with the insulation. I've really got to remember which way around this is. We're going to wrap that around the outside. Got to be very careful here, it's not all falling out the bottom. I probably needed to put a bit more water on the soil just to make it a bit more sticky. Now you can either use a bit of tape now or string. I'm just going to use some string. Let's wrap this up, keeping it all held in. tie that in. So here is my seed snail. That has got 6 tomatoes in it. I can then pop that here, water directly on top, and the idea is this will now grow, and then you unravel it, and it's much easier to separate the seedlings. It sends on big long tap roots, making the plant really strong and healthy. But I'll do another video on these very soon, or should I say an update video, to show you how we get on and how we then move these and plant them on. Is this going to be a game changer? Am I going to be able to do my seeds, this technique, for everything I do? They all just go into a seed snail. As I say, I'm going to water them now. Right, hope you enjoyed that video. As I say, time is ticking now. You've got to really make an effort and get your seed sown, otherwise you'll miss this window and you'll be the one going down to the garden centre spending a lot more money on actual little plants rather than sowing them yourself. And it is much more rewarding to grow your own fruit and vegetables from seed. So get cracking now. If you like this kind of thing and you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. So see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye now.